What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day. We're going to be watching the Hogwarts Legacy. It premieres in 8 minutes. I don't know if it's going to be another countdown to a countdown. Have no idea, but we'll see. I got early access? No early access. No, this is the showcase. This is the community. They have their channel, and we're just live streaming it. We do not have early access. Nowhere does it say on my channel that I have access to the actual game. If you're talking about the category that I'm in, that's because it's about the game. All right. What's going on, Gaming Fire? What's going on, Stealth, Matasbo? How's everyone doing? I'm excited. I'm excited for this because I'm excited to see the combat mostly. I want to know how the combat's going to work. The UI I'm not really too excited about. The castle and stuff, all that stuff is you know, great, right? I want to know how the wand and everything is going to work in the combat system, the lock-on system, all that stuff. How you're going to use the actual spells, right? I hope they go into way more detail. I don't think they're going to go in that much detail, but I could be wrong. We are here on our brand new channel, the 30 NSG, so make sure if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let me tweet out that I'm... How's everyone doing today on this Friday? Usually we don't stream on Fridays. We usually join Lono on his channel when we do. There we go. All right, we're all caught up on that side. Just streamed almost 5 hours of Ragnarok. Nice. I don't think is the viewership going to be pretty good there? I'm always skeptical of streaming story-based games when it comes out because I don't feel like the viewership's going to be there. One quest per hour. Seems pretty good. This is what we got on the screen right now while we're waiting. Just let you guys. Oh. Why isn't that working? Give me 1 second. And I will go full screen. We will go full screen. We'll go to the other. We'll go to this view once it starts. I had one guy the whole time. Yeah, I feel like that's a waste. Even if I had a PlayStation 5, I don't know if I would stream Ragnarok right now. Gaming Fire says, I don't normally buy Pokemon, but this time I will pre-order Pokemon Scarlet Dual Pack since I have a feeling my sister will talk me into it. Sounds like you're talking to yourself into it. All right, well, look, we found your one guy, Stealth. We found your one guy. Patch was watching you. Did I miss it? No, it hasn't started yet, Mo. What's happening here? Audio streams current bitrate is too low. You guys notice if my... Oh, you know what it might be? Before I went live, I think... I don't think I can change it now. Yeah, I don't think I can change it now. I think the audio sounds fine. What's going on, Tiny Tube? Yeah, exactly. A lot of people just try to avoid it because they don't want to get spoiled. What's going on, Quest? Oh, no, I totally get that, Patch. I for one, when I had, back in the day, when Witcher 3 came out, I had a newborn, and there was no way in hell that I was going to buy Witcher 3 and be able to play it. So what I did was, as a stay-at-home dad, I literally turned the television on and watched Carnage on Twitch play through like 140 hours worth of Witcher 3. And it almost felt like I was playing it, right? A game that obviously you're not going to buy, you can watch, right? But for a person that has a PlayStation and is going to buy the game themselves, they're usually not going to watch your live stream, right? They might do you a solid and put you on in the background and mute you and stuff so you don't ruin it for themselves just so you get a view. But for the majority of the population, if they own the game, they're probably not going to watch it, or they'll come back to your channel once they're done with the game. All right, 60 seconds. I guarantee you there's going to be a countdown to a countdown. It starts at 1 or 12:55, and then there'll be a countdown of like 5 minutes before it starts. Or yeah, I played it on hard, Tiny, and there feels like it feels like hard mode is meant for 2-player co-op. For solo play, it's pretty hard. If it's a countdown, I'm going to laugh. Well, get ready to laugh. Get ready to laugh. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Here it comes. Boom! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Knew it! Don't doubt my psychic abilities. Don't doubt me. Here, we'll let that music play, and we'll shut our music off. So what you're saying is this is now the final countdown. What's going on, Dirt? Got him. I'm excited for this game as a gamer, right? I'm not excited for this game because I'm a Potterhead, because I'm not. I'm not a Harry Potter like I'm a Star Wars fanatic, right? I love Star Wars. I love Marvel, right? Like superhero movies. I like the Harry Potter films. I thought they were really good. But as a filmmaker, on the side, right? I'm a fan of a filmmaker side of just everything that they've done, right? But as a gamer, I'm really interested. Okay, I'm really interested in this game because, to me, and I've said this so many times before, if they make a game that you like, an IP that you really like mine's Transformers, Star Wars, or Marvel, right? If they make a game, anything of those three, I'm interested in it because they've decided to make a game like Skyrim. And when I say Skyrim, something that you could like really dive into and play for hundreds of hours, right? That's what this seems like. Obviously, we don't know, but the way they've pitched it to us, the way they've shown us, the way they've explained, I mean, we don't know how big the map is or whatnot, but to live in a world that you see from the films is just amazing, right? Like, I loved when they first came out with the first Star Wars MMO. I was like, this is amazing, right? I'm excited for it as a gamer to explore and play the story, the action, all the stuff, right? As a gamer, I'm excited, but as a Harry Potter fan, again, those of you that are Harry Potter fans, this has got to be like Christmas, right? If you celebrate Christmas. But this has got to be like Christmas Day, right? You see this, and then when you get it in your hands, you're going to be like, this is amazing. I'm kind of excited to see if they do a cloud version of the Switch native port. I still think the no co-op is a miss. Yeah, it might be a miss, Dupless. But again, they might have something down the road that they add to later. You know what I mean? They just don't want to tell you it right up front. I brought it up before where maybe they do like a No Man's Sky, where No Man's Sky said there was no multiplayer, and then they added multiplayer after the fact, you know? Star Wars MMO was fun, but it got really boring. Are you talking about Star Wars Galaxies, Gaming Fire? That never got boring. It got destroyed before it got boring. If you guys want to submit questions, you can submit questions, and I do see them, and I will answer them. Derp asks, do you think depending on how well the game is first received, we can expect to see DLC down the line? Oh, for sure. For sure. I see this game being endless possibilities of, obviously it's going to sell well. I can't see this not selling well. Even if it's a bad game, it's going to sell well because of just the fan base alone of this IP. Right? I know it's not Harry Potter, but it's in the Harry Potter, universe type of thing, right? This takes place, I think, 100 years before Harry Potter. 100%, I think it's going to have DLC. Or, I don't know if they're going to do... I don't think this is a live service game, but who knows? There's a very fine line between what it was and what it is, you know what I mean, of live service. All right, we got 10 seconds. Let's get a round of applause here. Round of applause. Let's bring it in. What's going on, Lurker? No problem, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Hogwarts Legacy gameplay stream. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to show you today. But before we get into showing you the game and gameplay, I have a few wonderful guests that I need to introduce you to.
I hope this is like a half hour long.
Community guest host, He brings you the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. He's the local Merlin conspiracy theorist.
Guilty as charged, yes.
One half of Expecto Go,
Yeah.
James Whitehead.
Thanks, Chandler. Yes, I'm James Whitehead of Expecto Go, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Hogwarts Legacy content. And I am one half of Expecto Go, the other half, my wife Sue, represents that other half. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you, Avalanche Software, for inviting me. I cannot wait to go over this gameplay. I just got to say that.
Welcome, thank you for being here. And we've got two people from the studio, just two of the many people bringing this thing together. The magic.
Some Harry
Hogwarts
Potter
Legacy
fans right now are
game
freaking out
director
because of the
Alan
background
Tu,
with all this
and
collector
senior
items.
environment artist and Hogwarts expert Boston Madsen. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedules right now to
Dupless,
sit down
just
with
because
us
you don't know
to
who he
help us
is.
show
I mean, I don't know who he is either, but
gameplay.
I'm also not
So what we're going to be showing you
following
today, first,
Harry
the
Potter,
character creator, because it's your
content
legacy,
creators.
and you have to create yourself when you get into to get into Hogwarts and bring your whole authentic self to Hogwarts. So we're going to show you that character creator. Then we're going to dive into a tour of Hogwarts, and it's just a small tour of Hogwarts, right?
I'm gonna
Because
put
Hogwarts
myself
is
down
huge.
here.
Hogwarts is really big. So
Oh,
we're
no,
gonna
I
be
can't
showing
move
you a
myself
little
there.
bit, but
I can't move
it's
myself
still
there.
a lot.
Because when they show
And
the
finally, ending up with
stuff.
combat. A little taste of combat, a little taste of how all
Yeah,
that
I'll
works.
leave myself
here. Let's
Just
go.
a little taste, yeah.
Go.
So we're excited to get there. But again, first and foremost, we need to get into this character creator. And James, with you here, we wanted to let you create this character. So Andrew, who is going to be doing all of our gameplay capture today, is going to be handing you the controller.
Oh my gosh. All right, I won't break anything. All right, so what are we looking at right here on this screen?
These are your presets. So a lot like other games, there's
You know
some
what?
initial settings that you can
I'm going to shut my camera off for a second so you
choose for
guys
your
can see the whole
character,
thing.
that just kind of get them into like the ballpark of what you want to be, who you want to be, and what you want to change.
It
Oh,
just started.
man.
And then once you're in
Literally
that
just
ballpark,
started,
all the other
Christina.
tabs let you dial that in, be exactly who you want to be. It's our goal with this is to make sure that for anyone that fantasized about bringing themselves to the school for
Yeah.
the very first time,
Yeah.
that they feel like they have the options in order to represent who they are and essentially bring themselves to Hogwarts or whatever character they want to bring to Hogwarts.
Oh my God, and options galore. Do you mind if I try to put myself in here right quick?
This is all about you
Okay,
today.
okay. All right. So, okay, yeah, that's me. We're here. That's me right there. All right, so that's step one.
We're
so,
pretty
right,
close,
so they
but
have
let's look at everything
Okay,
here.
let's
They have a
over
pretty
here.
good
Play around with some of
in-depth
these options. Like
character
really-
creator here.
All right, so what are we looking at with this option over here with the tab? I see face stuff.
Yeah, so a lot of the different faces that you saw in the previous screen, all those faces are choices that you have here.
Well, it looks like they have
So
more choices than
you
Madden
can-
football. That's
now
good.
you're just kind of getting into the details in
Yeah.
your face shape, in your skin color, and then because we knew a lot of people going right in are going to want it right away. Even
Yeah.
though it's an option later in the game,
Yeah.
you can collect different types of glasses, put them on later. We give you some options right up front if you want to have glasses for your character.
Oh man, oh my gosh, look at the structure of the faces with this. Wow, you guys thought of every. I like that. I don't think my face is that skinny, but I think we'll go that. I think we'll go that route. And down here is this.
Those are your glasses
This
there.
gla-
Yeah.
Oh, so we started. We could go Harry Potter if we want. Awesome job. Oh man, and this is just some. Of
You
the
can always be a
options,
truck,
I'm assuming?
Dupless, as
Yeah,
long
so
as it's in
through
your
the
own
course of the
vault.
game, there's a lot of different options that you'll keep unlocking.
Okay.
So as part of kind of like gear for the character, there's lots of different classes. There's even masks. There's all kinds of things over the course of the game.
I like how it's all Victorian era, though.
Yeah,
Like,
right
it's
up front.
very
Such a good
authentic.
call.
Graphics look good.
Call.
The
Oh my
graphics look good
gosh.
on
All
this.
right, so now, we can go sleek on this one with the hair.
Ooh.
Oh.
I spend a lot of time here just like dreaming about my different characters. And what
Oh
they're gonna
my
be like.
gosh, the pony. The thing I'm always amazed by whenever I see any aspects of Hogwarts Legacy's character creator is just the texture. And like
We're
you
gonna
even
do a
adding the
breakdown
bounce with the hair
After this
moving
is all
around.
done, talk about
Yeah,
it and go
kinda
back
looks like
over it, and
Hermione
then
a
I'm going to
little
make
bit.
separate videos of this
I'm not
as
even
well.
I'm not afraid. And we can just go. Can I go like Tonks purple or green a little bit?
Absolutely.
Oh. Yo, This is so cool. Oh, I like that. That is cute. Oh,
How are you guys on character customization? When I make a character customization, I spend maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes on it, and I'm good.
I wanted silver tips, so that was the closest I got to any color. But oh my gosh, this is so cool. So you literally can bring yourself. Like it's a myriad of textures and different hairstyles here. All right, so now we're getting over here to play around with some of the.
These are more subtle options. We've
Okay.
got freckles, moles, different things like when it comes to your complexion, like darker eyes, maybe like some shading on the cheeks.
Oh man, you guys literally thought of everything with this.
I do have a bit of fun with that.
Gotta have the
And then
pink hair to
scars
support the
are one of
Karens.
those options where, Harry had his own unique scar,
Yeah.
but you can come in with different
Yours.
scar options.
Yeah.
There is a lot of
Oh,
customization.
wow.
A lot of
Look at
customization.
that. I didn't even see that.
What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Those are
7,
my
8,
favorite.
9,
The
10.
eyebrow scars.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
those.
You got
Love
10
those.
complexion,
You look
10
kinda
freckles and moles.
Yeah, you look kind of just like tough. But
You got 10 scars
now
to
we're
pick
over
from.
here. Oh man, you guys, this is so sick.
Got about 20, 25 picks of that.
Again, getting more
That
subtle
eye-
here. You know,
the eye
really,
color
like,
there looks like about
dialing in
20.
that face to really get
Yeah.
your.
I don't know how.
I'm gonna
revealing I
lower-
want to be with my facial.
I'm gonna lower
features
the
now.
volume
Just
just a
like,
tad.
yeah, I kind of have a big face. Yeah, my eyebrows kind of sit kind of low. But I mean, literally, you have so many options just starting the game. I feel like
Yeah,
you wanna be
it
here,
seems
like,
very
forever.
detailed.
You and me both.
And then this final tab here. This is
No,
where
I
you
don't
kinda
think it's
bring
as-
your whole
as
character
detailed as
together.
Black Desert
You know, this is
Online,
where
but
you
it looks
finalize
pretty good.
everything. You're not choosing your house here.
Okay.
That's not yet.
That was a theory.
But here's where you bring you choose voice 1 or voice 2, which is more kind of a masculine or a feminine voice, and then even within that, changing your pitch,
Oh, with
the pitch slider.
Oh wow, you can do
It's
the
a
pitch
subtle
for your
slider,
voice.
Yeah.
but you can hear it.
Concerned about.
That was quite something.
And so
Yeah, I don't know if you
kind
can
of
change your
make out
weight.
The differences, but yeah, you choose which kind of voice that you want. You'll be selecting your difficulty here. For today, we'll just go normal because
Okay.
Andrew's going to be taking us through some of the experiences with combat later.
And we can talk a little more about difficulty, with combat and how that plays in.
That is
But
a
I
big
think
question.
the important thing here is like if for people who aren't gamers, especially,
Right.
story mode is a way to get into this without being worried about like, oh, do I need to be good
So
at games?
it
Like,
says
no, just
pick your
enjoy
name
this game.
character,
So now we'll put
which I think
Expecto
right then and there
Go.
automatically takes it out of online stuff, right?
And then
Even down the
whether
road.
you want to be witch or wizard.
Because your name
What do you think?
is
Character
for
creator?
story
You good?
access.
I'm good.
I guess
I'm
it would
like,
do your
yo,
gamer
let's explore
tag
Hogwarts
if you went
and let's get
online,
some
if they
stuff.
add
All
it
right.
later.
Through the magic of using a dev kit, we're going to be loading up a save a little later in so that we can show you more about Hogwarts and give you that taste of combat. All right, Andrew's got some gameplay pulled up for us here. We are starting out, James. There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna pop up
This
again.
is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing
If
right
they're
here
gonna
with the UI?
if they're gonna
'Cause
do
this is our
that,
first
then
look.
I will move myself.
So right now, we know there's been a lot of questions about
over here.
about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So kind of going over it from right to left, on the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
So it is R2.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn
Okay.
over the course of the game.
Okay,
Okay.
20 slottables.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used
an
in very
ultimate?
specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's
Okay.
left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so
Okay.
right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because
Oh,
we feel like
come
there's a lot of
on.
spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I
know.
understand.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be kind of brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize. And all the way on the left is our mini map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
That's
Really
huge.
Immerse yourself.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of that's what you're
So it
seeing
is
there.
working
And this is
exactly
our
how I
HUD.
thought it was going to work.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out.
So there's 4 slots,
I'm
but
a
you can
big fan of
change
the
those
bedside
quickly.
Tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
The honey-colored wood was mentioned in the writing. It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
So now we're walking out into.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room.
Yeah, this is
Go back to those
Hufflepuff.
Common Room videos we released.
I'm gonna
and
start
the
off
music's
as
a little bit
Hufflepuff.
different, and that is entirely intentional.
We just want
Looks
to
great.
welcome you to your common room in every single house. Just
Did
a
they
little
say
bit
what they're
differently.
playing on?
You can
It's a
customize that
PlayStation,
experience
right?
away.
PlayStation?
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at that.
So I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
The only reason I'm going Hufflepuff
Very,
is that
very
that's what the hat
earthy.
chose for me.
Which is like elements for each of the houses.
The hat
right?
shows for
Hufflepuff
me
is
in the
earth,
app.
Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We
Wow.
really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So if it feels earthy, we've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very familiar.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're gonna be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the past trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts is now, it's so cool.
Very tactile.
I was wondering if they're gonna let you walk in,
of
if it was a load
Use
screen.
Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there. Yeah.
Let me see if it's on my phone, Dupless.
These are something that we kind of interchangeably call Revelio pages or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it.
Mhm.
And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide.
It's called the Harry
challenge.
Potter Fan
So
Club.
I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves, what?
Continue, I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question. And
I don't know if they're gonna
given
do
to you
that,
by the
Water.
staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before we push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide, and you can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors
So
have
cool.
granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
Don't
And
show
as
us
you
this.
go
Show
in
us,
there,
show us the
you'll see
screen.
different types of challenges that are combat challenges, quest
Wow.
challenges.
Okay, combat,
exploration
quest,
challenges.
exploration,
And you can
field
see
guide
field guide
page.
pages are on there as
Yeah.
well.
Lots of stuff to do, man.
We unlocked that one field
Lots
guide
and
page.
lots of stuff to do.
That entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're
That is
actually going
so
to
cool.
interact with to help help you grow as a wizard and practice your spells. And so that thing that we just saw is not just a field guide challenge and a way to earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game discovering all
That's
of them.
cool.
And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone.
Wow.
Little glimpse of the grand staircase
Yeah.
here. We're not gonna.
100 pages just in Hogwarts
all
alone.
the
Match the tower.
portraits.
Yeah.
And I did notice the flue flame just ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fast travel points there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun was it designing those and putting all
Oh, they're
those in
gorgeous,
there?
but
But
that they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right next
They've
to
done
the
a
Great Hall.
really,
it's
really
a nod
good
to
job.
lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the
Yeah,
game. It is
we didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things.
So I have
that
a major
aren't
storm
necessarily
outside
gameplay
right now,
systems,
so
but-
we might
but we
lose
nod to
power,
them
just to let you
as part
guys
of the
know.
narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
Wizarding
Andrew
World.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall
Hall.
over
Yeah.
through those doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Here's another collectible page. You know, just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts.
That's
that you
cool.
can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So,
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail they put into this is kind of it. I get surprised by it all the time.
That's
didn't
a
even know that was a
sentient
thing.
magic castle. So.
Oh man.
Now the real question is, Water, is there a photo mode?
Look at that.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
and I love the way that when the castle interconnects to that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle is.
And when you see things like you'll notice a bridge over there. That's a place you can go to and cross. Like everything that you see is a place that you can visit.
Wow.
We tried
at that.
we put a lot of effort.
They're
in
flying
making it
around.
really alive. Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so it just kind of the moss and all the trees that have overgrown it, and
Oh my gosh.
that landscape, that
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I am
that.
going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on.
No.
We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts
So-
contains a lot of secrets.
That's great, though.
Oh my God.
But this is this grand entryway right here coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a
There's
big
no
hub
Quidditch
of
in
the
it.
School.
They
It's
said
a
that.
big
It's in the
castle,
frequently asked
but,
questions.
It is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is kind of a grand central station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse
Wow, man,
is
the
over
detail.
there. Transfiguration Courtyard, the
The
library.
amount of detail they've put into this,
the hub.
just this
Oh my
small
God.
of the
area.
castle.
Even the color visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh my God.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
That's not to say that it's easy to learn. All of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis.
It
It's a
is.
castle.
Great point.
I love that Andrew's definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what
That
I'm
statue
doing. I know
is
what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity
Now, obviously,
to talk
the
to
way they're
somebody,
showing it,
get a
most people are just going
quest
to get in the
giver
game and
here.
just run around like with their head chopped off, going, "Oh my God!" and they're going to miss
Is
a lot.
everything all right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nellie, by the way.
Voice
I'm
acting's
just
good.
so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years.
Ground
You
wrong.
should try to catch one.
Why would I
It's
do
not
that?
an MMO.
Each
It's a
key
single
will lead you to a
player
locked cabinet somewhere in the castle.
RPG, single player
If
action
you can
adventure
manage to
RPG.
get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may
It is
find
open
a
world, though.
reward.
Think the best way to describe it, think of like a Skyrim-esque
Perhaps I'll
type
give
of
it a
game.
go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
So those kind of
I
side
hope
quests
you
are
find-
really, it's a cool way to interact
If you manage to
with
open a
your fellow
cabinet.
students, with perhaps other teachers, with, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
in this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do.
Oh yeah,
and
this
then
is gonna
those
sell a ton.
interactions,
Water.
Different interactions
Just
with
with
different
the-
characters.
just with the
can
fans
also
alone.
offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide.
Hey, no
Some
problem.
of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you being a little bit of a
Sometimes
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the scale really varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at this.
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Like how
Power.
big
Tower,
is this
which
game? This castle
This is one of my
ridiculously huge.
favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of
It
this
is
area.
very iconic, very unique to anywhere else in the castle.
Dude,
Somebody
the
else that we can
attention to
talk
detail.
to, notably a younger student.
Yeah, she looks like a first year.
I mean, look
an
at the
11-year-old.
work they've done on the floor, like
right?
the stonework.
you
It
know
looks
who I
like
am?
the different marbles.
Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
I don't
Everyone hates
believe
you.
there's a nemesis.
Because Hogwarts
System,
is
if
full
that's
of
what you're
bullies
asking,
and
Water.
spoil sports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
Okay, so we were just talking about this earlier.
I haven't
About
much interest
Ragnarok,
in a
right?
game
People
that
don't want to
sprays you
watch
with
the game when
odors.
you're playing.
Only if you lose.
I don't know if people are
which
going to
I
want to
never do.
watch the gameplay
Or
of
at
this
least
when it
not
first comes out.
often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
I think I said this yesterday in the last 2
Sounds
weeks.
as if you caused the
think a
smelly
lot of
situation
people-
and they responded accordingly.
Like the
I didn't
normies,
make the
I'll call
rules.
them, right? The people that are
Anyway,
not
I
super
can't work out how to get
Potterheads
them back on my own.
or
I
into
don't
this
think I
type of
know the
stuff.
necessary spells
They might
yet.
buy the game because they're interested
I
in
need
it,
someone,
but get bored of it
perhaps a
real fast
selfless
because
and
it's
talented
too big. They'll
fifth
feel
year to help
intimidated
me.
by it.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do
Come on,
come
Super
and
Dave.
see me
I don't.
again.
There's
I'll
I
be
don't
back to
stream on
playing
Fridays.
Snake Pit and
It's a special
Jackstone by
event that they're
myself
showing
in no time.
gameplay and the community
I
stuff
love that
for
interaction
Hogwarts
with her
Legacy,
because
so we're
there's so
covering
many
it.
ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like,
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
yeah, they continue.
that's a good example of the.
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. Gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things. Honestly, it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And
I wonder
there
if
were
they'll
calls
add stuff
we had
like
to
that
make
later.
over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket,
Gobstones,
just kind of for the overall health of
Wizard's
the thing.
chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
aren't featured.
Yeah.
They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they mentioned they're a part of the wizarding world.
Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we
Oh, no way,
we
Stealth.
regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's a way to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
And I know here too, we're
I see your
like,
reaction.
I was like, we're in the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. I recognized that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognized the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think
he's
this is
just
a good
freaking out,
opportunity
right?
to talk about how classes
freaking
work,
out 'cause he's a
we've gotten
huge
a lot
fan.
of questions about that. Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately we decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day?
There is a day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big mystery going on in the world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events.
Yeah.
See, I like that because
and then there are also additional
if you
opportunities
want to dive in more to this game, it's there for you.
Classroom missions,
and if you don't have
you
to.
can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure, and also get to know the professors better.
And I just want to call out something that Andrew's been kind of showing off, ways to kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world. And maybe down there who's sipping some tea with
Victorian high
society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, the brooms going
I
by
just saw
overhead.
a broom go by. Love that.
Yeah, it's very cool, the detail.
The data tower was
They
one
still that
example,
light
but,
transition as you go in.
No two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
personality. I like that because
Yeah,
it
a
gives
lot of
it does like
character.
Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of
And
grow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
I
that. I
heard
posted something in the
yeah.
Gotham Knights
Speaking of
section.
characters.
I think it's
Speaking
fake,
of
but someone
magic,
posted it.
Mr. Magic himself.
I feature Poltergeist too.
We talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side.
Oh, yeah?
That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides
It
there.
hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just pass.
I wonder if that's a map, like an actual true map of
Portraits have kind of taken it over, and
how big the map is.
so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I love
all
the
owls.
fog rolling down that.
Great callback.
That's
Great
funny.
call.
But no, I also love that as I one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation knowing
so
that that is
cool.
real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous
bet.
castle. But we're closing it out here in the clock
look,
tower. So
like right now, I
another
want to go up on that
recognizable
balcony. How do I get up
location,
there?
but this
What's
is
up
where
there? Is there something I can
Cross
collect?
Wands,
Is there
which
something I
the
can find?
Secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you
Voice
finish
acting
your
sounds
exam,
good.
let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new
there's
way.
like a...
For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to
Is
the
that how it's going to work?
possibilities.
The top bar pops up there?
We've set up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now,
Oh, okay.
what we see on
Tutorial.
the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There are certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands.
Okay.
And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect
Exactly what I thought it was.
cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things. And so if you hold down R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man,
that's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
so you
pull those combos
right
together.
Here. Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
That's pretty good.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean...
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause the action and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
A lot going on. I mean, it gets complicated, and that seems like something interesting.
If you want to fight with somebody else, some of your classmates. But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation, because they've got you up against 3 people.
3, off the jump.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting.
Interesting.
So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice
so
that
you have to use the right spell.
On them.
So for the yellow one, you got to use the triangle.
The function of their spells, we're trying to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all this control spells.
Oh, I like that.
So those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator
and it's
for which actual spell
as Gotham Knights as far as the highlight and the way it moves.
Can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The the halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things
Like
that are coming.
Spider-Man.
If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack.
can
and
dodge.
If you tap the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and
Nice.
with
Yeah,
your take.
and I love
Nice.
that deflect where it goes off and like hits things
Yeah.
up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy.
Very
and you
cool.
can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a
Combat
direct
looks
attack
good.
on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here. Win this
Look
duel.
how fast it is.
That combat looks cool.
It's like a dance.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies, there's almost like it's kind of like there's this element of kind of like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea that's pretty unique to the Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less gonna wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts, and just that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without, well, maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time. So leaving the castle, going out here.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls.
I wish they
just
showed
heading
the
out
map.
here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts, and
Oh man.
this is not somewhere where we're going today, but
Wow.
we will definitely be taking you in the future.
Very cool.
A little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there.
I asked for combat. We got the
All right, so
combat.
we're gonna
That's
wrap
what
things
I
up
was hoping
here,
for.
But I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen. But I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So
Yes.
while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you want to pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that because there's a lot. Let me grab it. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
And also from, I mean, going through this, I
Based
feel like
off of-
you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So
No.
not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color.
I don't know why you would want
so
to change your character
kind of
after
like
the
core
fact.
shapes,
Okay.
Like with the body and face, not after the fact.
Okay.
But there are lots of things.
Yeah,
There's
you can
kind of
change
like a
your hair and
barber shop in
stuff.
Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
Of course, there's
inside
a
of
wizard
there,
barber,
you can
right?
customize, yeah.
You could change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
And the game features a lot of appearance customization in it, so there's a ton of options there. But that's in
Well, they
terms of like
mentioned
your
a little
character and
bit
stuff that you have the
of
character creator. It's like
progression
a,
as
it's like
far
a,
as, like,
a smaller set of what you
They
saw
said
there.
as you learn different
God.
spells and
Awesome, awesome.
whatnot.
Next question. What kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time? I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most
Yeah.
of them are driven by different characters' personalities.
Maybe my
some
fat
of
kid
them
lost
want help
weight.
getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle
Right,
because
right.
there are new secrets in our castle to explore. And so So I think there's a bunch of things to do. And when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell. And then the spell is open, you know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that. But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff. And then it's through the talent system. Right? When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow and change. And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example. And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even how you approach combat and how you think about the battle.
There you go.
I won't be touching the dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Second playthrough, yes. Dark Hufflepuff coming, #soon. I want to close off with this question, and this will be for everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again. I hope that whether you're already a fan and love this game, or this is your first introduction into the world, I hope they just point at each other in the best way possible. And I'm just excited for fans to get to finally go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it. Live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer and I will, but I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar. Because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game. And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there. And in the movie saying, I know what's around that corner in the film.
That's the cool part.
There's actually a thing over here, and there's this person over here, and this thing happened, and it just adds all this richness to everything that you already love.
And not just that, but you're going to add your own story. So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is
that's why I like video games, man, especially with something like this.
Looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just go.
I can go there.
That vantage point,
There's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. It's just like, it's kind of incredible.
And wrapping it up, for me, it's just bringing the community together with it and sharing those stories, because it is your story, and you are going to be writing. This is your unique experience within this, and even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience.
This is going to be a game for someone out there that never plays another game. They're just going to play this game.
I think that's going to be really cool, the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but
they showed us a lot
of stuff. Character creator, a little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023, and is available for pre-order now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else. But for now, bye.
Bye.
Now that I see the combat, now it all makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I was right about the cooldowns. I was right about how you're going to slot them. I was right how you're going to switch between them. So very, very cool. Very cool stuff. Is there no loop on this? Oh, I guess I can't loop it because they haven't. Lots of character customization. There was lots of different presets that you could do. Right? There was 4, 8, 12, 16. There's a good 50, it looks like, for pre-selects. And then you could do more on top of that. A pre-order now to get your Hufflepuff limited edition level 5 wand. Mo says I'm in. Yeah, I think that's free. I don't even think that's a point-to-point system like World of Warcraft, Super Dave. I think that's you literally just get on the mountain. You can fly where you want. Combat looked really good. Right, he's about halfway. Real quick, I just want to kind of back up for a second because they... Yeah, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I would say there's about 30 or 40 different presets that you could do. And then on top of that, you have 15 different presets of each of the faces. I'm assuming that. We don't know that. And then obviously the skin color, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think there's 19 or 20 different shades that you can go. So the customizations actually seems pretty robust. Lots that people could sit there and make their character. Now, they didn't go into too much of detail if I could create my own and adjust it like a, Black Desert Online type of stuff. But you could probably find what's the closest to it. Lots of hairstyles. 20, 30, about 40 to 50 different hairstyles, it looks like. Plenty of color that you can actually pick from. Then you have the scars and whatnot for the next... so lots of different things that you can do there. I'll do more of a breakdown for each of these sections on separate videos on this channel. So we'll do that as well. We'll go more into detail. I'll give you my thoughts on it. Yeah, lots of stuff with the customization. Very cool. I think this is a really well done character customization for what it is. Could it be more detailed? Sure, I guess it could. Now, as far as this goes, now there's the voice. You have the 2 voices. You have the pitch of the voices. There's 5 different pitches that you can do. You can select your difficulty for your story, right? You can do story difficulty. You could do easy mode, normal mode, or hard mode. Your name of your character, obviously, is for the story-esque aspect of it. So when the NPCs interact with you or whatnot. And obviously, if they do add a PvP down the line or some sort of co-op experience, and again, I'm just saying that. I don't think they are. Like, they might. They would just use your gamer tag or whatnot to see each other. And then, obviously, you can pick witch or wizard. Okay, so they definitely have a lot of stuff going on here. The next thing that they show, the attention to detail, I kind of want to just go over. He kind of explains what all the buttons are over there. They don't explain this one down here. Okay, they don't explain this one. They said that's a secret right now. They didn't explain this one either. Obviously, there's going to be potions and stuff that you drink. I'm assuming that it's going to give you extra strength or expand. I think your health at the bottom here will expand over time as well based on your level and what you unlock. Think of like Zelda or even Tunic, if you played Tunic recently. The more stuff you unlock, the stronger you become. Your health becomes longer and longer across the bottom of the bar here. he said this triangle here up here in this section is like, and I'm going to put it in layman's terms. If you just started playing Gotham Knights, your momentum abilities, that will be your momentum type ability where you're going to do some sort of bigger spell or bigger thing that'll take time to go through. The grid over here next to it, right on the D-pad, is to switch for your other spells. They said you can go up to 16 slotted spells. We know there's 18, 19 different spells that we know of right now based on all the stuff that they've done. But they said you could slot 16 spells. And the way you're going to do that is by holding R2, not R1, R2, which is the trigger on your controller, and then left or right on the D-pad, and it'll scroll through the 4. So you'll have the four spells with you, and then you'll quickly hit R2 and right on the D-pad, and it'll go to the next 4 spells and the next 4 spells, and it'll wrap around is what it sounded like. Each one has a cooldown, which is interesting because you can't just spam the same one over and over. Maybe as you progress and put your skills towards certain things in your progression slot, maybe that will happen different. But for most part, when they showed the villains or the bad guys they were playing in the combat, they had a shield around them, and it was color-coded. So each of your spells are color-coded: purple, blue, yellow, red. I'm assuming that there's going to be certain blues, yellows, and reds of different magical abilities. I don't think you're going to have like a rainbow of colors here. I think you're going to have these standard colored shades. So you could have 2 reds. And I think at the very end, let me look at, they showed something real fast at the end here where he had, hold on. They showed at the very end here in the other trailer. Yeah. So, perfect example. If you guys can't, let me, as you can see, these two, there's 2 red ones, right? One looks like an explosion symbol, and one's a wand symbol. So you could level up and do, let's say, 2 reds, but if a person has a shield on for blue, you're gonna have to switch over. You're gonna have to hit R2 right on the D-pad, get to your spell that has a blue to knock their shield down, and then do more damage to them, right? But you could put all reds on one, you could put all purples or yellows on one, so you could mismatch them like they did. But it seems interesting. The combat does look good. Let me bring this combat back up and let them play it. The combat looks pretty good. It plays out exactly like it was in my head when I explained it. You can see the highlighted color, and it just moves to the next person. You can also get this halo and deflect or dodge. So if someone's off screen, but you have this halo around your head, you know you could dodge from them. Very cool stuff. Krebsy says, now I have more questions. Phantom says, I will sink too many hours into this game. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. Facial animations were lacking, but the rest of it was good. I mean, the facial animations, they've always, I mean, even in movies that have CGI of just faces, always struggle as well. The human face is very hard to capture and to do, right? I mean, for the video game, I think it's fine. It's progressed over the years. Would this be the next Skyrim as far as the impact to video games? I don't know. I mean, I said that this game is going to feel like Skyrim. It's going to be the Skyrim for people that are playing that are Harry Potter fans. I think there's going to be so much to explore. There's going to be channels that are made off of this game, right? Now, I cover all games, but there's going to be channels that are literally just started that are not even YouTubers yet, that they're going to start this and just make content on this game, and they'll be very successful because there's going to be such a following. I don't think people understand how big the fan base is for Harry Potter, right? If you're a Harry Potter fan, you know how big the fan base is, right? These people, from when the movies came out to now, they're grown adults that were 10 years old. Now they have families, and now their kids are fans. And when Universal Studios opened up Hogwarts Land over here, the Wizard of World of Harry Potter, holy Christ, it's insane. Like Diagon Alley and stuff, it's insane. The amount of fans that went out to get the books and now the park and then see the movies, It's insane the amount of people that are going to be diving into this game and absolutely love it. And I think the casuals, as the developer said, the lead art designer, she said that if you've never played or never watched the movies or never read the books, this is going to get that entryway where people are going to be. It's insane how big this is. As gamers, we look at it and go, it'll be. There's people that won't even play, that have never played video games, that see this and be like, I'm going to buy a system just for this game. No, I understand that saying. What I'm saying is there's people right now that are not even YouTubers that when they start playing this game, they will start a brand new channel and they will explode. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, there's people that already make content and that are big on this channel. But I'm saying is there's people that don't even have channels that will be able to make content off of this and still grow and be successful. Yeah, they said, someone asked a question about certain games. Now, I don't know about the little mini games and stuff, but someone, obviously they wanted Quidditch, and they said something about some sort of stone game that I don't know, because I'm not that into the lore of it, right? I'm one of those normies. He said that it's not in the game. I wonder if they would add those down the line, right? As a developer, you have to like know when to cut certain content and work on others. So I wonder if they'll add those in at a later date. I wonder if they're going to support this after the fact, right? They say it's not a live service game, so. I saw a channel get 100,000 subs just covering the game's trailers and leaks. Yeah. Hope it's mine, Stealth says. Performance mode. They did say there is a performance mode that I if I recall, Krebsy. If I kill someone, are they actually dead? Weather system. More info about PlayStation stuff. Real quick, Matasbo asks, do we know if there's DLC possibilities or just standalone game? We don't know that yet. I would assume as a person that's created a game like this, you would have some sort of DLC down the road, right? I mean, it's such a rapid fan base that, I mean, there's a huge fan base. I can't imagine them making a game like this and then not putting it in. I think that's a loss if they do. That's a missed opportunity if they don't do that. Oh, for sure. For sure. With the Easter eggs, just like they said at the very end, right? Like, in the movie, you see like a hallway, but you want to know what's behind that door. In this game, you can go into that door and know what's behind there, and then you feel like you're part of it. So you could literally just make a channel of like a tour of certain areas and then talk about the Easter eggs or talk about certain stuff. This game is going to make so much content for the Potterheads out there, for all the people that just love Harry Potter. It's gonna be a huge content creation. Yeah, I saw that Ghost. Stealth said it earlier. That's sad. That's sad. I'm going to play this. The combat system. I was worried about the combat system. That was my biggest fear for this game. I was like, how's the combat going to work? How are they going to implement it? How is the lock on targets and stuff? How are they going to make the enemies feel, tougher or whatnot? And now, obviously, this is just a tutorial that they showed in this little section. But just seeing this little bit of combat, I'm at ease. Okay? Anything that worried you? Yeah, the combat. The combat was the worrying point for me. I didn't know how the combat was going to be set up. I had a video and speculated how it was going to be, but I wanted to see it in action, right? And now that I've seen the combat, I'm 100% sold. 100% sold on what the combat system is. It's not very sluggish. It seems pretty quick. Actually, it almost looks a little too quick, right? Right? It almost seems too quick. Look at it. It's crazy how fast it is. But it's so quick. Like, do you see what happened just right there? Look at that, right? he deflected it, right? She shoots. Here, I'll do frame by frame here. On the left side, she ricochets. Now you see the glow above her head, and as the glow is happening on her head, the ring is starting to close in. You see that? The ring starts to close in, and it lights up. She shoots. It's about to hit him. He deflects it. It deflects off of him. He doesn't get hurt, I don't think, because he gets hit right on. Yeah. No, he does get hit. His health goes down. It's the second one after that. Picks her up. Picks him up, whatever. Yeah, there it goes. There's the deflection. That's the one I thought. Right? So she shoots. Right? The halo shrinks. So as the halo gets smaller above your head, it comes in. That's when you're about to get shot. So they've literally taken the Gotham Knights approach with the parry. Okay? And then ricochets it. And then it ricochets up and above. I wonder how far it ricochets around the room before it like dies off. But that's very cool. And then he counters. Right? It looks good. It looks good. Now, she drops something over there, as you can see, right? There's something blue on the ground there. I wonder is that XP points? Is that what that is? Does that go to your XP bar? I wonder if it gets sucked in and if the XP goes away. Oh, it cuts to a scene. I think for sure there'll be some sort of fast travel, but you'll probably have to, obviously you can't fast travel. And again, I'm speculating based on other games in the past that we've played. You'll probably have fast travel sections, sort of like, you have to explore it, find it, and then once you activate it or do it, then it opens up that fast travel point. Is this next gen though? No, because it's on the Switch. What's this going to run like on the Switch? I don't know. It's probably going to melt your Switch. I wonder if this game will have fast travel at the 200th hour for some players. I think it will have a fast travel. I think we'll have fast travel, sure, but it doesn't. You still have your broom. Yep. You're doing yourself an injustice if you're playing this on the Switch. He smashed her with a box. Yeah. He picked up that box and just slammed it into their face. I just realized how violent that is, huh? Like you pick up that box, he's like, hold on a second, let me grab this box real fast, and then look at the impact when he slams it. He's very, very, very abrupt with that, smashes it across her face, and she goes flying. That's funny. Yeah, the combat's very fast. Very fast. I like the adjustment of the cooldowns. So you're not always using, so you have a basic attack which is just the R2. Okay? If you just tap, I think he said if you just tap, it does that extra, just the standard hit while it's not a spell. So you can use, your purple, and then tap, 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 and then blue and tap and yellow. I do like it. The combat looks very good. Like I said, my worries are over. It's a definite sell for me. I was gonna get it regardless, but I was like, I hope the combat doesn't suck. The combat doesn't seem like it sucks at all. So I guess you can actually kill people. Well, yeah, there's spells in the game, Krebsy, that you can actually do it. This is what goes on where people were asking, is there a nemesis system, or is there a moral system like in Fable where you can go evil or I think I don't think there's an actual mechanic in the game that makes you bad or good, but you doing bad things makes like you are bad. Like you want to play bad, like more of an evil type of character. Yeah, I bet you can. It got rated as mature, right? It got rated as mature, so I think at some point you could. The attention to detail to this game is crazy. Like the castle, when you were going through the castle, is outstanding. There's so many things that I would just like to go up to and like press a button and give me history of it. You know what I mean? No, I said that because the girl isn't alive after getting smashed by the box. Oh, I got you. Now, the wand I was talking about last night would be cool for this game. Oh, playing the game with that wand, that would be cool, Krebsy. You see kids in their room just like flicking the thing. Yeah, the art design's on point. I really hope this game comes out and it's a solid game. And what I mean by solid game, I'm not talking about the graphics and everything like that. I'm talking about when the game comes out, it's a complete game. It's not fixed 3 months down the line. It's not hindered by bugs and glitches like a Fallout 76 or a Cyberpunk or anything like that. I hope the game comes out and it gives me hope for video games in the future. By a game this big coming out, I hope the expectations are met for not just Harry Potter fans or for people that just love this type of lore stuff, but for people that are just gamers in general that are looking forward to a game and it comes out and it's complete. So I can't see buying this on PlayStation 4. I will have to watch you play it until I get a PlayStation 5. Well, here's the thing, Lurker. I am not in the market as of today of getting a PlayStation 5. And I hate the fact that PlayStation is doing the exclusive for 1 year with the stuff that comes out, right? The shop and the dungeon that comes out. I would like to get this on a PlayStation 5. Like this game, and I'm not even a Potter fan, like a super fan, and I would get a PlayStation 5 just for this game. Just because of the haptic feedback and stuff that they do with the controller that they've implemented for this game, I think it would be a cool experience to do, right? And then you also get more stuff for the same price that everyone else is paying for on PC and Xbox. Okay? I don't like the exclusive stuff. I think it's bad for the... Obviously, it's great for PlayStation, but I think it's bad for the industry itself. Obviously, they're trying to get a leg up for people to buy it, and exactly, they would get their way. If I buy a PlayStation 5, I'm buying it because this game is on there, right? And they know there's a huge fan base. I mean, a huge fan base of Harry Potter. So, I'm probably going to get this for the X if I can't get a PlayStation 5 or if I don't have one by the time. Mr. P says, completely blown away by the graphics. I believe it's set in the 1800s, through which I'm not sure, and I'm sure a big fan. Yeah, no, it is. It takes place in the trailer that they showed in the past. They show a newspaper, and it says from like 1890 or 1892, I believe. I believe it takes place 100 years before Harry Potter. I think it takes place 100 years exactly, because I think Harry Potter takes place in the 1990s, does it not? Like 1992? And I think this takes place in 1892. 1890, 1892, something like that. Yeah, the exclusive stuff bums me out. I mean, I get it as a business, right? I get it as a business, but as a gamer, you're just like you have a PC, you have an Xbox, but you're being punished basically because you pay the $70, $60, $70, whatever it is, to get the exact same game on PC or Xbox, but you're getting less content than the people on PlayStation, all because of the box you chose 2 years prior. Do you know what I mean? It's a little weird. 150 years? I think it's 100 years, Mo. Just based on the newspaper article that's in the game. they show a newspaper, and it says the date on it, and it says 1890, 1892, something like that. So I believe it's 100 years. I mean, the story might take place. Excuse me. Let's see if my voice came back. It's 1890s. I know that for sure because it says it. It says it in the newspaper. So maybe the story, the lore, and what it takes place, because they might say, "Oh well, the villain's name is Ragna. I know I butchered it, but it could be like, well, he started back in the 1850s, and then the story might take place between 100, 150 years, something like that, because they reference stuff a little later than you. Except for the combat, what impressed? Except the combat, what impressed you the most? I mean, as a gamer, I'm always impressed with games as far as like the amount of attention to detail. Like when I play a game, most of you guys that watch me play a game, I usually play a game and I go across all the outer walls, and I usually admire what the developers have done in games like this. I'm just amazed. I look around like, oh man, try to look for like secrets or anything like that, right? So I'm really impressed by the amount of detail, because even though I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, watching the films and then looking at this and seeing that and go, oh, I know that's that and that's this. Like, it's amazing, the attention to detail. Now, if you're a book reader, I never read the books. Never read the books. I might read the books now. My wife's a huge fan of the books. I never read the books, right? Because it was like past my time, right? I'm 44. When it came out in the early 2000s, I was in my 20s, and I was doing other things in my 20s than reading Harry Potter, right? So if you're a Harry Potter fan and you read the books and the attention to detail they put in the books, and they've taken that information, I'm impressed by that. I'm really impressed by the crafting of the world based on the books and the movies and whatnot. For what we saw in this video, I mean, I'm not really impressed by the UI. The UI is the UI, but it's nice to see the UI. I'm really just impressed by the castle and the attention to detail, and then the combat. Obviously, I was impressed by the scope of the castle alone. Yeah, it just seems amazing. I thought when they showed these rooms, I thought you were going to be like teleported to it. Like, they show you the doors, and the doors open up, and then you go in, and then I thought, like, when you enter that hallway during the cutscenes that they showed, I thought it was going to be like a cutscene, and then you end up in this room. Every door they went through in here, there was no cutscene. Maybe it was just walk through and walk around the castle. So that's a huge area that they showed us. Like, this whole area, like, as he walks through this, the sound effects and stuff as they're walking through, the light changing as you go through the dark and light, they've done that very well. Right? There was no cutscenes. He's just walking through and doing all the stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. I want to know, right? Ranrock. That's it. Ranrock. The evil goblin's name is Ranrock. I'm interested in knowing, because he said that there's a day-night cycle. Okay. Now, again, this is my logical brain talking. I don't know how it's going to end up in the game. You're a fifth-year student. I'm assuming the game takes place, you're sometime within the beginning of the school year. Okay. So if there's 365 days in the world, okay, in reality, and there's day-night cycles happening in the game, and you happen to do a quest, or you're doing on the main story, or maybe you're just hanging out in the castle for a complete day through the cycle, because there's also seasons, right? There's 4 seasons in this game. If I put the controller down, let's say, and I just let the time go past in the day, and all of a sudden, like, 4 days pass in game, how does that affect what you're doing? You see what I'm saying? Like, how do they do the day-night cycle with the actual time frame in the game? Because progressing through the story, I think, would change the seasons. I don't think the seasons are going to change if I sit there and just let the time tick away, type of stuff. You know does that make sense? Oh, for sure. Like, this whole section with the book, and they're like, yeah, they're giving you a book because you're a fifth-year student. They want you to catch up, type of thing. So you see all the menu systems here. You see the gear, you see the inventory, the talents, the collections, challenges, settings, owl posts. You can send messages. Okay, quest, no assignments, and a map. I really want to see the map. I want to see the map. Now, obviously, is the map going to have the fog of war around it? Because you're not going to know about the map until you actually get there, like to that section to make you explore type of thing. They talk about all the different challenges and stuff you can do. They said there's over 100 different ones just in the castle alone. They talk about this day-night cycle in the showcase, but they just say there's a day-night cycle. They don't explain. Like again, Jesse, if I put my controller down and just want to test it out, I let the day-night cycle go through. Does my character get tired? Does he have to rest? Is it an end point of the day where, sort of like when we play Grounded, right? You play throughout the day, but if you don't rest, you kind of get tired or whatnot. Is there a reason to have a day-night cycle besides having a day-night cycle? Right? They emphasize the narrative and a lot, so you must have windows of time between story quests, explore them, and then you're forced to do them. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what about if there's a quest that doesn't happen until, like, midnight? Right? It doesn't even show up until midnight. So you could be a day person, and then there's a resting thing. I would assume there's some sort of resting going on in the game, right? The longer you stay up, you have to rest in some sort of way. What about certain things, like, for instance, in Elden Ring, if I go across this certain bridge during the day, there's no boss there. But if I go at night, all of a sudden there's a boss there that I have to fight across the map. You see what I'm saying? Is there going to be completely different things to do at day and night in the exact same location? Obviously, besides the look of the location. I highly doubt the game will go from March 4th to March 6th. It's probably just immersive. Right, Krebsy. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I put the controller down and let 2 in-day games pass, does it pass in the actual game? Like, so if there's 365 days of school, okay, or whatever it is, am I wasting 2 of the days by just standing in the room type of thing, right? Or is it going to progress based on the actual story and the main story that you're doing? I know it sounds weird what I'm saying, but I hope it's coming across correctly, right? Like, is the day-night cycle there for lore and story purpose to push you, or is the day-night cycle there like an actual thing where things change and different quests pop up, but the actual day-night doesn't, like, you could let 2-3 day in-game days pass, but literally the day doesn't progress until you go to sleep or until you accept the quest. I think it would be attached to the story. Right. So you could probably just do like 5 in-game days, but 1 in-game day will pass once you take the story mission and then progress it. Here's the challenge thing. So you have combat challenges, quest challenges, exploration, field guide pages, and he did say there's 100 pages just in the castle alone. So obviously, if I go to a different region, it's going to have a different field guide page for that section, right? Taitut says, persona-like tasks to schedule time with friends or spend study for the test. Yeah, he also said that classes, which I thought was really cool, okay, because I was like, how are they going to do school in this, right? He said that there's going to be quests or side quests to do school. And they didn't want to do a sim-based thing where you actually go to class and have to sit there and, like, take a test. But there's side parts of the quest where you can go in there and do it, and it also helps you where you're getting different skills to make it better because you'll learn a spell. So there's a reason, and I always speak about that. Put something in the game, make sure there's a reason for it. So the reason there's a class is to learn a new spell, and then go to class to learn that spell so you can use that spell type of thing. So I think that's very cool. But I also agree that going to, let's say, Hufflepuff at 8 a.m., you people eating sausages at 11 p.m., they're sleeping. Right. Like, that is very immersive if they do stuff like that. Like, they did show the stairway, daytime and nighttime in another clip before today. and it looks different. It changes. I think they said like ghosts roam, like a certain spirit roams the hallways now at a certain time. So it'll be very interesting. Like I said, there's going to be so much content for people to create. This is the first big game, so I think they will keep it simple. I don't know if they'll keep it simple because it's their first big game. I think if you're a dev and you're a developer or a company, and maybe you played a game like Skyrim, or maybe you played Valhalla, and you're like, man, I would love to play a game in the Harry Potter universe like Skyrim, and then you take the big things that they do in other games. You know what I mean? Right, Jesse, and upgrade your potions as well. Well, we do know there's that extra room where you grab the plants that you discover, you grow the plants, you make different potions and stuff like that. So we know that's in the game. We've known that for months and months. So I think this is very cool, though. This is very. I'm very excited. I'm very excited as a gamer, and maybe I'll become more of a maybe after I play this game, I'll be like, man, I really want to read the books now. Maybe I'll read the books before. I think this is really cool. What do you guys think overall? Were you stoked before and now you're even more excited? Were you a person that was maybe on the fence and you needed to see something and they showed it to you? Obviously, the bells and whistles are the graphics and what they look like and the architecture they've done, right? Maybe you're on the fence about the combat and that combat won you over. Oh, I say way more than that. Are you saying just for story, 50 to 70 hours? Are you saying just main story? I'll say the main story is probably 30 to 40 hours, and I guarantee you could do hundreds, if not thousands of hours into this game. Because I want to know, is it different playing with Hufflepuff as it is for Slytherin? Are there different cutscenes and stuff for each of the houses? They're doing the showcase just right. Yeah, they're showing just enough. They're showing just enough to give us a little bit of information. And look, we have a lot more questions now from what they showed. Like, look at this, the flying page that he grabs and puts it in his book, right? This is a collector, and it goes in the book. Collect a field guide page, right? That's what it says. It says collect a field guide page. Collect field guide pages in Hogwarts, 2 of 2. Okay. It says challenge complete, collect field guide pages in Hogwarts. So there's little things that they're teaching you as you walk through, right? Different statues to look at, different things to look at. I think they've done a really good job just from out 10,000 feet away looking at it going, this looks good. This looks like a really fun game. Krebsy says, I highly, highly doubt this would even happen, but if WB needs cash and this game does good on PlayStation, could see Sony buying Harry Potter. Like the license for the game? Or like for exclusivity, Krebsy? Is that what you're talking about? Like the IP, sort of like owning Spider-Man for a video game? Side quest 50 to 70 hours, but completionist at least 200. Yeah, that's more like it. I really do hope though, because now all of Harry Potter, I don't see Sony doing that. Sony, first of all, I don't see WB selling their basically their only IP that will make them money. They literally had an article recently saying they haven't made a Harry Potter film in 15 years. They haven't made a Superman movie in 13 years, right? Some of the biggest franchises they haven't done anything with. So they would be absolutely stupid to sell it off when they need to make the money back as fast as, not as fast, but they have to make their $50 billion debt. I don't see Sony buying it from them. Now, I can see them buying Harry Potter and having exclusive, sort of like they have Spider-Man to make a game, and then like the next Harry Potter game is only on PlayStation. Sure, I'll give you that. But as far as the Harry Potter franchise, no way in hell. All right. I'm really excited about this now. I'm gonna go make some videos and talk about this, and talk about more in-depth stuff. I do appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out and having this conversation with me. If you like what we do here, this is one of my brand new channels. It's 30 NSG. You're here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. I've never done a giveaway before. And I'm thinking about, for subscribers of this new channel, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but obviously it's just subscribers, right? So subscribing's free. So I think once we hit 1,000 subscribers, whoever's in the pool of that 1,000 subscribers, I'll give a copy of this game away, system of their choice, right? I'll go more into depth and try to figure out how I want to do it, but I definitely want to give one a copy of this game away, and I don't know how to do it in any other way except for subscribers like comment in the videos, and so when I do figure it out, we'll figure something out, and we're gonna give at least one copy away of this game for just a standard edition, but for somebody that wants that can get it for the system of their choice. So yeah, if you like the videos that we make here, we've been covering Gotham Knights, we've been covering Suicide Squads, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm going to cover a bunch of other games as well. We're definitely going to dive into this game, and we're going to play through this, have a good time with it. Maybe lore video type of stuff, speculation type of videos, different things like that. So hit that like button down below. Helps us out for getting exposure. Hit the subscribe button so you know when we make other videos. I do appreciate you very much. We usually don't stream live on Fridays here. So our normal content that we create is I release videos on this channel, on this brand new channel. We have another channel called 30 and Still Gaming as well. You can find that down below as well on this channel. We do lots of different contents of podcasts and live streams and talk shows, lots of different stuff. I do appreciate you very much for coming out and hanging out with us this morning or this afternoon, and I'll hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.